Oh my God. Welcome back to the channel. I am so frustrated with these cameras. I'm about ready to go get me a brand new camera. I hit record, I made sure we're recording, and I start putting the motor in the car. I get it jacked up, I got it tilted in there, I got it drop out halfway in, and then I come over, check the camera, and realize it's not recording. So, I think I'm gonna have to hire me a full-time camera guy. Anyway, this is where I'm at right now. The motor's about halfway in. As you can see, that blue tool up on top, at the end of the chain hoist, you can crank it back and forth, tilt the engine. So that's where I'm at right now. I got the engine tilted. I'm just getting ready to put it down in there. Thank God I came over and checked the camera. Sorry about that, guys. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Let's go back just a little bit more. I had one little screw that holds the boot down, and I think it was holding me up. Let me try that now. There we go. That's all it was. Okay. I should be able to let it down there a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna have to go down underneath there. You can see the that piece right there. That's the motor mount. So I got to go down underneath and put bolts through in those. I'm not even going to try to get the camera down in there. Okay, so we got everything in the car now. The engine, transmission. I got the Holley Sniper on the engine. I've got the frame-mounted electric fuel pump for the system, and we're going to fire it up. So let's see what happens here. I got it neutral. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out with me talking with the car running, but I'm going to turn it off. Okay, so I went and turned the car off because I wasn't sure you'd be able to hear me talking about this. Okay, today is October 30th, 2023, and okay, I'll just be honest with you guys, this is not the first time I started this car since I put everything back in. I finished putting everything back in the car back at the end of May, first part of June of 2023. I fired it up, and I had issues with the car. Okay, I didn't film any of it. I was so frustrated. I actually, if you noticed, I haven't even posted anything on YouTube for a while. I was just so frustrated with this car. I've never had so much trouble with a car I had in my whole life as I had with this car. And it was stupid stuff. Okay, let's start out with the first thing. First thing was the clutch and pressure plate. I ordered a brand new clutch and pressure plate to put in, even though the one that I got with the transmission from Corvette Generation, the flywheel looked, I mean, it didn't look like it had been used yet. You can still see the machine marks on the surface. The clutch looked brand new, the pressure plate looked brand new. But I thought, you know, while I'm doing this, I might as well just put all new in. Well, I ended up ordering 3 different clutches. The first clutch I ordered, it came in, and I measured it to make sure it matched the old one. And the only difference between it was the offset of the pressure plate. So I don't know how to explain this. Basically, it stuck up a 30-second more than the old one, which meant that as you tighten the bolts down, it would compress the pressure plate clutch, you know, the fingers to depress the pressure plate. It would depress them a 30-second more on the surface of the pressure plate. But if you take that times the leverage of those arms, it was compressing them a lot. And you can kind of see it in the video when I'm putting it on the back of the motor. And I kind of wondered about that at the time, but I thought, well, it should work. What's a 30-second? What's that going to hurt? I got plenty of adjustment in my linkages. So dummy me, I went in and put it together. Well, come to find out, it did hurt. And when I tried to start the car, it sounded like somebody banging on a metal pan or something in the transmission. And I knew what it was as soon as I tried to crank it over. I knew it was that clutch and pressure plate. So I had to pull the transmission back out of the car without removing the engine. I jacked the car up, I dropped the transmission out the bottom, and I'd ordered another clutch and pressure plate from Napa. Came in, I got it here, and it was wrong too. So I ended up ordering another one online. And I'm sorry, let me back up here a little bit. First off, I ordered one online, and it got lost. The post office lost it. I don't know if you guys have purchased anything online and had the post office delivered, but I hate it. I would, when I see somebody selling something on the internet and it's going to go by the post office, I won't order it because they just take forever. And so anyway, I ordered the clutch and pressure plate, and it never showed up. And I contacted the company. They saying, you know, they'll check into it. I mean, the tracking showed that the post office picked the part up. It took it to their main hub there in Kentucky or where it was at. I don't remember now. And that's the last they showed, and they knew where it was at. So I figured it was gone. So I went to Napa, bought one, got it home, got checking it, and the bolt pattern was off. It wasn't even for the right clutch, so I couldn't use it. Well, the same day I got the one from Napa, the one showed up. It was like 30 days after it was supposed to have been here. It showed up here. I'd actually contacted the company and filed a cancellation order with them, and so I had to contact them back again and say no, it showed up. So and it was closer, but it still had a little bit of an offset. So I thought, you know what, I'm not putting it in. I'm not taking a chance. There's nothing wrong with that old clutch and pressure plate. So that's what I did. I put the old clutch and pressure plate back in. And so I put the transmission back in, fired up, worked fine. Then we move on to the Holley Sniper. I've watched a ton of videos on this Holley Snipers before I bought mine. and I never really paid attention to it. And in the videos, you can't really hear it. At least I can't with my hearing aids. I couldn't hear. But if you watch the videos, every one of them that shows this readout turned on with the engine running, and I'm going to start mine up for a second so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But if you watch the readouts, they're jumping back and forth. Even the RPM's going back and forth and back and forth. And if you look at my tach, you can see it moving up and down a little bit too. And I thought, well, maybe that's moving, but it's not making any difference in the performance of the engine. So anyway, when I got mine put in, it's doing the same thing. I'm going to start up here just so you can see what I'm talking about. Make sure I'm in neutral. Okay, this first one here, that's the air-fuel ratio. That's the ratio between the mixture of fuel going into the Sniper and the air, and it's constantly adjusting. Okay, which you understand that when you first put it on, that it's in the learn mode, so it's got to learn what it needs to do to run correctly. If you watch the RPMs, you can see they're bouncing quite a bit, going all the way up to, I don't know, it happens so fast, 897 up to at least 930s, 940s. So to me, that's a lot. And if you watch down here, this is the duty cycle of the injectors, the map sensor. It's staying pretty steady. That's just the mass air flow sensor. But it's this air fuel ratio, and you can hear the engine idling kind of up and down a little bit. Okay, right now it's actually running pretty good. I don't understand it. It normally is. You can see the tach needle moving, which right now it's not moving much. But anyway, I kind of expect that on a new install. It's constantly learning, it's adjusting constantly, and it's fine-tuning itself into the point where it should run really good. And that's understandable. But like I said, I probably got 2,000 miles on this car since I finished it back in May, and I would think by now it should be pretty dang smart. Okay, it's been learning for how many months now? It should know what it's doing. It should be running smoother than that, especially idling. It's just sitting here. It shouldn't be that up and down, back and forth. And the idle air control, which is a little valve that opens and closes a plunger to allow more air into the system, it's moving back and forth. And I think that's part of what's making the idle go up and down, and the air fuel ratio change, because that's changing. I've tried to dial that in. I've gone online, I've read everything I can, I've contacted Holley a couple times, I've done everything I can to try to get this thing tuned in and running as good as possible. This is the best I've ever had it run, and it's still not running what I consider smooth compared to a quadrajet carburetor. And I would never, and this is just my experience, I'm not telling everybody else this is common or this is normal, I'm just saying based on my experience, I don't ever plan on buying another Holley Sniper. And if I didn't have so much money in this system, it'd be off the car right now. I'd have a quadrajet on here, and I might end up doing that anyway. I don't know. We'll see. It is running pretty good right now. When I first put it on there, I had this problem where, especially if I had the air conditioning on, you downshift. You know, I downshift from third into second, and usually most times I didn't downshift into first. By then you're so close to the intersection, you just push in on the clutch and roll up the intersection and stop. Well, I push on the clutch, the car would die. And I went on, Holley Sniper forums. I contacted Holley. I tried to see videos on it, why it was doing this. And when I contacted Holley, the tech I talked to, one of the settings is set at for the idle drop, where I think when you let off, how quickly it drops back down. or something. I'm not sure what the setting even did, but anyway, it was set factory set at 1,000 RPM. He told me put it up at 1,300 RPMs, you'll never have another problem. So I did that. Did make a bit of difference. I was just the point. I was actually getting ready to send my quadrojet off, have it rebuilt, and yank this system off the car. And there's one setting in this. Let me turn. Okay. This one setting in here, it's idle spark enabled. And it comes default setting from the factory is it's enabled, it's turned on. In any of the books they send you with the system, it doesn't tell you anything about this. And I just figured, well, since it's enabled, I'm just going to leave it on because it must have to be on. So I got online and I found where you could download the complete installation guide for this system from Holley. So I did that and I read through it. And this is only supposed to be enabled when you have your ignition system running through the Holley Sniper system. I have a distributor that's got HEI on it, and it's not plugged into this system. So this system doesn't control it at all. So this has to be disabled if you're doing that. And so I turned that off, that one simple setting, after I probably spent 2 weeks screwing around with this thing, changing settings, trying different things. And I was just, like I said, a point to pulling it off. When I got thinking about that, I thought, well, I'm going to turn that off. What's it going to hurt? Worst it could do is not run, right? It's doing that now. So I disabled it, and it worked fine after that. It went idle like it's supposed to. It wouldn't die on me. And so anyway, that made me happy. And it has improved performance since it's been on here. And I've done some tweaking on it, on the programming and stuff. And it's still, to me, it's still not running right. And like I said, if you watch other videos on YouTube about Holley Sniper installations and they show this screen with it running on that screen that I was on, you'll see those same figures are bouncing all over the place. So that tells me that's got to be normal for this setup for whatever reason. I don't know why Holley can't tune that in better than that. They did just come out with a Holley Sniper 2 that made a bunch of improvements, and I'm just wondering if maybe that's one of them. I hope that's one of them they addressed. So anyway, with that being done, and I finally got it dialed in to where I thought it was pretty good, I decided I didn't like how loud the frame-mounted electric fuel pump was. And not only that, but the heat. And I will have I don't know if I have a video on that or not. Some stuff I videoed, some stuff I didn't. But anyway, I made an insulating shield to go around it, and that helped a lot. I did have a little trouble with vapor locking when I first put it on there, because it sat right above the exhaust pipe. And so anyway, I did that, but I still didn't like how loud it was. With my hearing aids, I could still hear it, which I don't hear a lot of that kind of noise because of the hearing loss I have. So I finally broke down and I bought the in-tank Holley replacement fuel pump system. It's a really nice system, and I put it on, and it's like night and day from the tank mounted one to the frame mounted one as far as how loud they are. When I'm sitting in the car, when I first put it in there and I turned the key on, I couldn't even hear it running. I actually did make a video of that. I'll be posting that, and that system works really well. I'm really happy with that. I did have some other issues with the Holley Sniper. One of the problems I had with it was the internal regulator. It wasn't working right, so I pulled it off and I put an external regulator on, and I had issues with that. And I'm pretty sure I have some video of that. I should be making a video of that too. But other than that, the car has performed flawlessly. The new engine's working great. The transmission's working great. Everything's working great on the car, except for that Holley Sniper. And it is working really good. It fires right up. I mean, you know, I can turn the key here. The pump, you got to wait for this to kick on because it primes the injector, and then fires right up. And See there, it almost stuttered down and died. It just does weird stuff once in a while. Stuff that I feel like now it shouldn't be doing it. You see the RPM bouncing around, you see the air-fuel ratio. This is the idle air control. It's showing a position 3. It's holding pretty good right now. It's not bouncing around, so this shouldn't be bouncing around, I wouldn't think, but it's still bouncing around. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I'd buy another Holley Sniper, but that's just me. Okay, well, I'll end this video. It's getting way too long, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.